All right, so now we're going to bring in Gordon Tredgold. Okay, so come on, Gordon. Okay, we're going to make, okay, Gordon, of course, is like super cool because he has also been on the committee to make all this stuff happen. And his leadership within the committee, well, is amazing considering he is the #4 leadership guru in the world. Wow!
Number six.
That was close. Yeah, 4, 6. That's next year's 4, right?
Next year, absolutely. Break into that top 5.
Anyway, there you go. See, you know, I am telling the future. So, Gordon, how, you know, so what was your journey to becoming a leadership guru?
So it'll come as no surprise to you, having been involved with me on the committee, that I've always been outcome focused, and I've been involved in too many teams, and not that the one that we had was one of them, where I was working hard on a set of objectives or under leadership that just wasn't achieving the result. And I thought, if I'm going to work hard, I want to have a shot at winning. I don't want to. I've no interest in this gallant loser shit. So I started to step forward and say, you know what, I don't think that's going to work. We need to do this. So I started taking more and more control of things. And I worked in IT, often involved in complex projects. And I always put my hand up to lead the most difficult projects. And sometimes I would step forward at the same time as everybody took a step back. So I would be like the only candidate. And I got a lot of great experience in leading teams, leading projects, doing turnaround. And it just increased and increased and increased. And what I loved about it, especially the most difficult projects, is that when you look at project failure rates, they're around 70+%. So when people tell me you should use a standard approach, my thought is, well, they lead to failure. Well, I don't think following the standard approach is the right way. And I'm a problem solver by nature and education. So that gave me a lot of insight and skill into being able to leading it. And then the other thing was I love to help people, and I was working for too many bosses who said, we love the results, but we don't like the way you lead. Could you lead more like us in a command and control style? And I thought, I'm getting the results because of the way I lead. And I just thought, you know, I want to start sharing the skills, the knowledge, the lessons, the experience I've got, but do it in a way that people could understand and use. And I started that about 7 years ago. I just started blogging, and I've written 1,800 articles, and it's that volume of content that is consumable, that people can pick up and use, that has got me recognized to be an expert. I think there are people that know far more than me, but it's that willingness to give, help, and support people, and just push content out there without any expectation of return. It's like people say to me, you know, was it always your goal to be on Global Gurus? I said, I didn't know it existed. My goal was to just write and share things. And you know, when I write, I have this approach where I'm writing to my 30-year-old self. I'm telling me what I wish I'd known 30 years ago that would help me deliver more results, better teams, and engage more. And I think by doing that, it forces me to explain things to people that might not necessarily understand in a way that they can go, I get that. I can do that. And I think that's one of the things that people find attractive about the content that I give, the talks that I do, and the books that I've written.
Brilliant. So how has the pandemic been for you?
The pandemic's been absolutely fantastic, just as it has for everybody else. I think last year I had I had 3 times as many speaking gigs planned than ever before. And I did the first one in Seville and not a single gig thereafter. And so I have moved a little bit more online, but I've been focusing on developing training courses. I have done, and I've created a breakthrough leadership training course, which is Institute of Leadership and Management certified. And I'm just going through the recording of that, and hopefully we'll publish that in September. But actually, what I have been doing is I've actually gone back to generate revenue to actually leading programs, and I've been working with Fujitsu, and I led one of the largest cloud digital migration projects to Azure, and we won an award with Microsoft over that. And people said to me, "Wow, you must know a lot about Azure." And my answer is, I can spell it, and that. But what I was really good at was putting the experts who knew what they were doing in a position to be successful, clarifying what the goals and objectives, and then giving them the tools they needed, and then getting the hell out of the way, and then just applauding them on that path to success. And that's been pretty much my approach to leadership. Set people up for success, give them ask them what they need, give it to them, and then step back, waiting to support or applaud whichever comes up, and just do that with passion and enthusiasm. And if you do that, teams will absolutely love you. Your bosses maybe not, because they don't want to lead that way. And I have been reprimanded multiple times. One boss said to me, "You recognize your team too much." And I said, "But I have the most successful team in the whole organization." And he actually said to me, "Yeah, that's no reason to recognize them." It's like, I don't even know how to begin.
How do you respond to something like that? I don't know, man.
Absolutely. And he said to me, "Recognition doesn't work anyway. It doesn't make people feel better." So 2 weeks later, I waited 2 weeks, and then I went to his office, and I said to him, "Can I have a word with you?" And he said, "Sure." And I said, "I just wanted to thank you for that fabulous piece of advice you gave me about not recognizing people. You opened my eyes, and it's changed the way I look at things." And he puffed up and he went, "Oh, I'm really glad to hear that." And I thought, you see, you tell me it doesn't work, and yet here you are, puffed up and ready to go. And I'm great at what I do, but I do sometimes poke the bear in the eye 1 or 2 times too often.
So what do you got planned for the future? So there's big things, right? So you got what's next?
So for me, I think I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on next year. I had a couple of speaking gigs in Beijing and Shanghai last December that were rescheduled to this December, and they've now moved them to 2022. So I'm not sure how much live stuff is going to come out. I love the speaking. So I'd like to do more of that. I'm going to start reaching out to events for 2022. And then it's just about, pushing the Breakthrough Leadership course. I'm supposed to be giving that in November in Dubai Live, which will be good fun. And it's just then about, I do too much stuff for free. I need to start commercializing things a little bit more.
Well, again, that's also one of the reasons why you're, one of the world's top thought leaders, is because, you care. And, and sometimes, you just do it because it should be done, not necessarily because you're getting paid for it.
So my goal is counterintuitive. I'd like to be paid enough so I could do it for free.
There you go. Makes sense. That's where you create all the stuff to just kind of maintain the automated element of where that'll just bring you all of the income so that you can do all the other stuff that you want for free.
Yeah, I get invited to speak in a lot of places, but they said we don't have any budget. And I said, well, I'd love to come and speak in Ghana, but it's an $800 flight. Now I'm paying to speak. If I couldn't speak, if I could afford it, I would love to come and speak free. I'm working with a couple of youth leadership organizations. I'd love to do more with them, but at some point, I don't know if you know this. It's one of the great world eternal truths, and that is that banks don't accept likes and comments as mortgage payments. I don't know that.
Really? Oh my God!
Yeah. I took 300,000 views of one article, and I said, "Hey, I'd love to pay the mortgage with that," and they just said, "Yeah, no, we don't trade in likes and comments." Yeah, that's my goal, is to do enough of it so I can do more of it pro bono, do it full time. I love to help, and I love to give back. I think a lot of time in leadership training, and I apologize for this, a lot of the time we focus on things like accountability and authenticity, and I sometimes think we're trying to make assholes non-assholes. And what I want to do, because that's a hell of a job, because usually they don't want to change, I want to work with all those nice people who'd make great leaders, but they just need to understand how to lead and deliver results more. So that's what I want to make. I want to make nice people great leaders. Brilliant. And I would gladly do that for free. Gladly do that for free. The world will be a better place.
Well, Gordon, thank you so much, and I am very grateful to have you on. And you're just listening to you again is very inspiring, and that's the whole point of what we do is trying to make a world a better place and pay the mortgage.
Yeah. Okay? Thank you, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with you on the committee as well. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it really has.